Hi, my name is Mrs. Walker, and this is the parent orientation video for how to get your child signed up in music this year. Before I get started, please check out my website for more information. So all the Google Slides and everything I go over today will also be updated onto my webpage, musicteacherwalker.com. So your child should have gone home with a yellow enrollment paper either last week or this week, and it should look something like this. That is the paper copy. The easiest way to get your child signed up into music this year is digitally. So you would go to this website, go.bcsd.com/QAU. It will take you to a site with all of the school names in our district. You will find your child's school and click the hyperlink for that school, and it will then take you to a Google form. That Google form is the actual registration form, and it will look something like this, where it asks for student name, parent name, school, grade, classroom teacher if you remember it, and their room number. Um, and then it will also ask for the choices of instrument. It will ask for a first choice and second choice. Please fill out both. We try to place everybody on their first choice instruments, but we never know what can happen with instrumentation, so we do ask that they have both written down, and but they will only be playing one instrument, just to clarify that. If you don't have a computer or any kind of Wi-Fi at home, this is a QR code that you can scan with your smartphone, and it will automatically launch the same thing, and it'll take you to the Google form, and you can fill it out on your phone as well. And as soon as you hit that submit button, your child is signed up, and he or she will automatically be uh, registered into my roster. So it's pretty easy. If you do not have any kind of phone or technology at home, you would just take the paper that your child brought home to you and fill that out by hand, and submit that to the school's secretary, and they will get it to me when I'm there next. So let's go over some classroom procedures and expectations, all about the music program. So music will actually take place during school hours. Lessons are twice a week, so they miss about 30 to 40 minutes of classwork twice a week. So whatever they do miss during that time period, they are responsible to make up on their own time. There are a lot of kids in music, so usually this is not a big deal, but they will be missing lessons twice a week, so do make sure that your child is going to be responsible enough to make the work up during their own time, whether it be at home, recess, or lunchtime. But that, because that does become very important. So hopefully they are doing well enough in class that they can be missing class to come to music lessons. Students will practice their instrument 20 to 30 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. This is at home. So since we only see the kids twice a week, the lessons are twice a week, it's really, really crucial that they are actually practicing their instrument on all the days that they don't see me. So that would be about 4 to 5 days out of the week. And it's very important that parents understand that the 70 to 80% of the child's progress and learning and success is very dependent on their home practice during the school year. So if they're only playing with me twice a week, you will notice that they will not improve. So as they say, practice does make perfect. So please make sure you encourage your children to practice when they are home, include it into their homework routine when they are at home. Students will bring their instrument and materials to school on their music days. Students will be committed to the music program until the end of the school year. So again, this is a 1-year commitment program, and it is very important that you feel like your child is ready to make that commitment because they will be expected to participate in a winter and spring concert as long as they meet the eligible attendance requirement and the practice at home requirements. Okay, so where and how to get instruments. Parents are encouraged to rent instruments from our local music stores here in town. There is a very limited number of school-owned instruments available, and the school can provide the following instruments, usually for sure, which is cello, trombone, and baritone. We have lots of baritones this year, so and they're like kind of like the mini ones, so they're not terribly huge. So I'm going to be encouraging a lot of students if they're not able to get their own to play one of these instruments if possible. So just a little side note here on the instruments. I always let parents know that there are more students that sign up for the popular instruments than I have at the school. So really the only way to guarantee your child play their first choice instrument is to be able to rent it from one of these music stores. Um, so if there is if you can't rent because it's a financial burden, I can put you guys on the wait list. So please reach out to me. I'll at the end of the presentation I will give you my contact information. Um, but it is really it is I highly encourage at least checking out the music stores to see if it's something that it's possible for you to do for your child. I think it also helps in the motivation factor for the child when you guys go out and get them their own instrument. They get a little bit more excited and maybe more willing to practice at home. So these are the materials needed to start in the program. So you'll see, depending on the instrument they sign up for, the materials look a little different. So for any string instrument, which is violin, cello, or string bass, they're gonna need these things right here. So for every instrument, whatever instrument they sign up for, we do recommend a generic music stand that they can go home to practice on, so they can have what they're going to use their music book, and they need a stand, um, so they don't have bad posture when they're looking. If you just put it on a desk, you can't really practice very well. So we do recommend getting a music stand for home practice use. And the other important thing is the method book. So for strings, you would try to get this book called String Basics, and it'll say Violin Book 1. And make sure it doesn't say Viola Book 1. They're playing violin, so it'll actually have a picture of this young girl playing the violin. So if you see the young girl playing the violin on the book, that is the correct book for violin. For cello, it should be a boy playing a cello. And then for string bass, which is the big bass, big string instrument, it'll be another girl standing up and playing the string bass. That would be the picture on the book. For a band instrument, which is flute, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, trombone, baritone, or percussion, or drums, you would find what's called the Essential Elements for Band book. And up at the very top right corner, it'll have the instrument name and it'll say book 1. So these are the materials that you're kind of looking for. Clarinet and saxophone are the only instruments that require one other thing, which are called reeds. You need these wooden or wood looking reeds, like sticks that you would put in your mouth attach to the instrument and play it. So they're going to need some reeds and extra reeds because they tend to go through a lot the first year. And they have them at the music stores as well. So these are the music stores here in town. Well, here on the right side, California Keyboards on Brundage Lane, Bakersfield Sound Company on Rosedale Highway, and Nick Rail Music on Ming Avenue. So just to give you an idea of what it would cost to rent an instrument, this is a sample flyer that I received from California Keyboards. You do not have to go here, but I assume the prices are very similar to the other music stores here in town. So rentals start at about 16, or it says 15.99 per month for violin and the viola and the bell kit. So the bell kit this is what you would need if your child wants to sign up for drums. We play the bell kit and the drum pad all in one, so they would need this entire kit, and it comes in a case, and it should come with wheels. If it doesn't come with wheels, please ask the store people to get you one with wheels because they are heavy to carry back and forth, especially if your child walks to and from school. These are the other instruments: flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone. Okay, start at about $18.99, and then the expensive one is the alto saxophones. They start at about $37.99 per month. Do inquire about the rent-to-own programs at, I think, most of our music stores. I believe what it is any money you put towards the rental fees will accrue into a credit towards the purchase of that instrument. So if you've been paying for the whole year, your child was in the music program for the whole year, you will build all that money that you've been putting into the rental, and at the end of the rental agreement, I think you'll have the option to just pay for the difference and buy that instrument, which I think is a very good program that they have. It's kind of just like a finance program, and if your child chooses to continue on that instrument for next year and the year after, it's a great investment. And again, I feel like it helps boosts the motivation for the kids when they have their own instrument. And this is another opportunity to go check out all 3 of the music vendors that I just talked about in town, because they will be joining us at this year's instrument rental fair, which is on Tuesday, September 12th at Garza Elementary School, and it's from 6 o'clock to 7:30. I highly recommend going here to check out all the instruments. You can check out the instruments there, like on site. So this is a rental fair, so this is not the schools checking out instruments. This is you guys going out and renting the instruments from these vendors. So we just provide a location, a central location for our BCSD families, and we host it at a time where it's not in the middle of the day in case you have an 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 job and you can't get off work before the stores close. So this is really primarily for those families, but everyone is invited. It's great to take your child with you and just kind of make it an event. And if you're not sure what your child wants to play yet and they want to see all the instruments there, it's another great place for you to just check it out. I should be here this evening as well, so if you have questions and you want to come say hi, please come do so. So again, I highly recommend coming out to the instrument rental fair, where you can purchase the books, rent the instruments, just get everything done and be ready to go on uh, the first day of music. There are grades slash progress reports in music. So they are graded on three different categories: home practice, general musicianship, and attendance. So home practice is kind of what I talked about, the 20 to 30 minutes of practice time at home. We have little practice sheet incentives where they check off certain milestones, and you won't be able to check off those milestones if there's no evidence of home practice. So again, encourage your child to make that routine once the program starts. General musicianship is how well the student is playing their instrument at their level. So if they're a beginner, okay, there's, it's small baby steps, but as long as they're making an effort, they get a good grade here. Attendance, the easiest grade to get um, an outstanding in, which is you just show up with your instrument on the day of music class and you come to class. So it's pretty easy, but it does take some time for kids to get used to their schedule. So I encourage parents to help them or remind them on music days to take their instruments to school and remind them what time their schedule is for that day, which again will come at a later time. But I will let you guys know via Parent Square when all of that information is set. So this is more about the home practice. So I have I have an online resource. I've posted a few videos and guides and tutorials on a YouTube channel to help beginners, and it's primarily to help them get started on their instruments. So just stuff like how to get my instrument safely out of its case, how to assemble it, how to put my first fingers down, how to make my first sound, like little simple videos like that. And so if you go to YouTube and type in Music Teacher Walker, you'll find my channel, and just kind of look through until you find your child's instrument of choice, like whichever instrument that they picked, and you can kind of just bookmark that so it, they'll have it for the year. The tentative start date for Nichols will be Wednesday, September 13th for returning students who are in the orchestra. So this would be the first time I will see the orchestra kids, Wednesday, September 13th. Beginners, I give them another week. I will meet with them Monday, September 18th for the first time. So if you can have all materials, including the method book and the instrument, if you're renting, you can have it by this date, September 18th. So this year, the schedule looks a little bit different than years prior. We used to be a Tuesday, Thursday music lesson days for Nichols. This year we have it's a little change. Beginners will meet Mondays and Wednesdays. Those are the two lesson days. For orchestra, instead of pulling them out twice on one day, one for ensemble, one for lesson, like we did last year, I will see them for ensemble practice Monday, Wednesday, and then I will see them for their individual lessons on Fridays. So it'll still be 3 blocks, but just spread into 3 different days. So they would bring their instruments Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for orchestra this year. So just a little bit of a difference there. And we will have a winter concert and spring concert. The winter concert will be in December, and the spring concert will hopefully be in March before the spring break. And again, music enrollment is open. This is actually a direct link to the Google form that I was talking about earlier. You can go to go.bcsd.com/M5P, and it will take you directly to the Nichols Google form to register your child for music. You hit that submit button once everything is filled out, and they will automatically be rostered into my program, and I will have their names. And lastly, this is my contact information. I prefer a contact method through Parent Square. That way I can immediately respond as a text pretty much. So you just go on to Parent Square, you can click new message, and then type my name, Crystal Walker, and you should see a little drop down with my name. Just click on that and then type in any message you want to send me a message, and we can start a thread there. Or if you would like, you can email me at my email address at walkerc@bcsd.com. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching the parent orientation video. I look forward to meeting your kids in just a few weeks. And I hope they have a good year this year. I will see you guys soon. Bye.